Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. So, interesting day today, or maybe, interesting day today, but also interesting yesterday. A lot of movement in the markets, a lot to go through today. So, stay strapped in. Of course, hope everyone is doing well. If you are enjoying the content and enjoying the streams, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you do hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Check out the Discord channel, completely free to join. Link in the description, of the stream, and of course at the top of the chat. Join discussion, share ideas. I'm there as well. So if you do want to join the community, make sure you do check out the Discord link. Link to that in the description below. But guys, we've got a lot to go through today. A lot of movement. What is up? Matt, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing good. Ahmed, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Darkashon, good morning. Hope you're doing good. Amazing night during the Trump speech. Got on the sell Nas. Took 570 pips profit. 42% profit. Wow. Increase in 15 minutes. Wow, that is rapid. 42% in 15 minutes. Don't think you can complain about that. But yeah, it did cause a lot of movement. I did have a look at the indices. They were down pretty hard as well. Dollar is falling out the sky right now. Of course, this is Euro USD on the daily chart. Today is looking very, very bullish for Euro. So it was a big news event yesterday, and it's definitely having its toll on the markets right now. And a lot of interesting moves have happened. I'm still very much focused with the yen pairs, so that's kind of where I'm looking to see if I can get some entries. I'm not in any trades right now. I still do have my Aussie CHF position, but I'm just kind of trading the remainder of my positions there. But yeah, a lot to go through. We'll go through USD side of things first. Take a look at the dollar, USD majors, gold, silver, indices. And then we'll progress into other markets. Any other requests, let me know. Drop it down in the chat. Anything you're looking to trade or just want my opinion on, let me know in the chat. And of course, let me know timeframes as well, so I can be a bit more use. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of movement right now. Dollar is absolutely falling out the sky. Well, I say falling out the sky. It's already fallen from the sky. It's kind of just falling to the ground, just a lot harder right now. Yeah, I was looking for a much bigger pullback for the dollar, but looks like the Trump announcement to yesterday just didn't want that to happen at all, and now we're kind of just tanking. We do have major support around 100.3. It looks like price is on a one-way ticket to that level there. So I think any pullbacks in the dollar, you're looking at a good opportunity, of course, within reason. But yeah, from a daily perspective, weekly perspective, it does look like price is just heading towards support there at 100.3. So pretty bearish here on the dollar. Didn't get the bigger retracement I was hoping for. And yeah, things looking extremely bearish. Lovely support there. Would be brilliant for price to come back and retest that. Will we? I have no idea. There's just so much momentum right now. We could keep falling. Might have kind of like a slight correction. But momentum might just come back into the market there. So it's difficult to gauge how much of a pullback we'll get. All I can say confidently is that momentum is bearish, and there's a good chance we'll probably end up back at 100.3 in the next few days. So yeah, shorts on the dollar look pretty good right now. Just waiting for opportunities to follow that momentum really. A pullback to 103.2 would be great, but I think it'll be difficult to see right now unless we have a really big pause and all that momentum. Euro USD likewise as well. This one exploded to the upside, breaking through the highs here. And looks like Euro USD again is looking to push back to resistance. So this is kind of the corresponding level for Euro USD in regards to the dollar as well, both coming back into big levels. Of course, Euro USD is pushing up, dollar's pushing down. Looks like Euro is coming back into that resistance around 1.119, we'll call it. So yeah, Euro looking very bullish. Of course, the daily candle's still got a lot of trading to do. Still got 11, 12 hours before it does close. So it could still pull back a bit. It could still keep pushing. But what we can say is that there's a lot of momentum. And it looks like the momentum we had a few weeks back from this bullish move looks to be kicking back into the market. So yeah, onwards and upwards for Euro as well. And I do think we've still got some targets to aim for. 1.12 looks pretty good. So Yeah, pullbacks in euro look good as well. Perhaps a retest of the high. Again, we'll have to monitor that. We're not too far away. Dollar's really broken through that low, but euro USD pullback to retest the high here. I think if the momentum can slow down, I think that's still very doable. And an opportunity to take some longs off the back of that could look really good. Maybe sometime next week potentially. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, in terms of direction, euro's looking very, very bullish. I was talking a lot about the resistance here yesterday because I was looking at euro having a bigger pullback to some of these areas, 1.06, 1.05. But again, euro just didn't have any of that. As soon as the announcement came in, we pushed very hard to the upside. Didn't break through, but as the new daily candle opened, that's when the real momentum kicked into the market and we are flying. And as we speak, we're still pushing. So yeah, euro looking very, very strong. Very, very bullish market. So I would just be looking for pullbacks to keep looking to buy that one. In terms of pound USD, likewise here as well. Colossal move to the upside for pound, much bigger than euro. But again, all this one did was just consolidate. So it was 50-50 which way this was going to break out. I was hoping we could pull back into 1.28, 1.27. Had a couple levels here which I was looking to buy from. Not really looking to buy from them anymore. The next best area for me would be the retest of the high of the range now. But again, we spoke briefly about possibly a push back to the high there, which looks like where pound USD is pushing towards. We had the last major high over here, had a pullback, high, low, another push, created a new high, and again another pullback, just about creating a higher low in reference to the previous low, and now potentially price could be looking to attack the highs again. So now that we've really broken out that consolidation, this becomes a really nice level for a buy. So if pound USD could revisit that location, that would be a great place for a buy. But again, you can see how far we've moved away. It's going to take a pretty decent pullback for us to get there. But I wouldn't rule it out because the market is pretty stretched. We haven't had much pullback since the low here back in Jan. This is kind of like our biggest pullback with the gap there to the downside. That's the biggest pullback we've had in this bullish move. Had a slight one over there. This one again, very, very sideways. So market is a bit stretched. I feel like a bigger pullback is on the cards for pound USD. And a retest of that high looks pretty reasonable, to be honest. So kind of waiting for that, but direction for pound looks like it's to the upside. If the DXY is going to go and hit 100.3, then likewise pound USD is going to push up, and we've got a major high at 1.34 to keep an eye on. Dollar CAD looking very bearish. Looks like this one's finally cracked support here. So dollar CAD pullbacks look really good to me as well. I've been going on about this support level for a while. Said I'm looking for price to break through this. Finally, we've made the breakout. We've also taken out these lows on the left as well. So the market's now creating some bearish structure. We had the original high up there, low, lower high, and now creating some new lows. So it would be really nice if dollar CAD would be kind enough to retest that same level around 1.425. That would be a great location for a lower high. We've seen one high over there, second over there, a third over there, and a fourth would be great. And as I've been suggesting, I'm still looking for dollar CAD to come back to this level here around 1.39, 1.4. So I still do see a lot more downside for dollar CAD. For dollar CAD, so there's still room to take advantage of. But again, one thing is necessary is some pullbacks. A lot of momentum, so the odds of us continuing to the downside are pretty high. Now it's just about finding opportunities to take some trades, really. But yeah, dollar CAD absolutely bleeding, broke support like it wasn't there. Now it's time to see if we can get a retest of that, and you'll probably find some nice opportunities off the back of that as well. Aussie dollar, this one's pushing to the upside too. Not as aggressively as probably a euro or a pound. I think Aussie's a little bit weaker than euro and pound, and same with NZD, I think. So this one overall hasn't actually changed too much. It's still very much within the confinements of this range here. So Aussie dollar is not necessarily exciting me too much. I do think price is probably eventually going to push the upside here because we've had a few attempts trying to sell off and it just hasn't amounted much. So support here has generally held. If I drop back to the 4-hour chart, You can see we did have a really nice break of that. That was a Monday, had a nice break of that. Price recovered that, used that as support yesterday. Now we have a very strong move to the upside. So I would expect us to at least push back into resistance now. And then if we do break to the upside, and of course, if USD does push back to 100.3, we'll probably see price clear that and probably start a bit of an uptrend as well. So there could be a lot of upside in store there for Aussie dollar as well. But yeah, I'm struggling to see a nice opportunity to trade this just because we've got some highs which we're approaching into. So buys wouldn't look good. Perhaps if you get a stop underneath there with some entries at that level, that would look good. But I think that ship has kind of sailed there. So yeah, something like this, another break of the high, pullbacks might look good potentially next week or even the week after. But yeah, it looks like Aussie dollar is still consolidating, probably eventually going to break to the upside now. Yeah, opportunities to buy it. This was a nice level to take some trades. But like I said, I think that ship has kind of sailed. Ends the USD, same situation here as well. Looks like this one, again, slowly pushing to the up. Well, I say slowly. In fairness, it is slowly, but the past kind of few hours has been very, very quick. But again, we broke through support here during the start of the week on Monday. We recovered that. Again, looks like we retested it with that wick there of the speech yesterday. And now prices, of course, flying to the upside. It looks to me that prices put in another higher low. One over there, second over there, and now you've got your third. So price is likely to attack the highs here on the left and probably break through them as well. And if this is potentially a reversal, or at least just a bigger correction, there is some upside to take advantage of. If I get the fib from the high to the low, I do think that 50% of that fib is a reasonable target, reasonable expectation for New Zealand dollar to get to. If we are going to reverse the upside, I think half of that bearish move from the swing high up there to the swing low is a pretty reasonable expectation for us to get to. Even if we are going to continue down at some point, that could be a realistic price for us to see some downside from. So yeah, ends the USD looking pretty bullish as well. Again, with USD being so bearish, it's difficult to go against that. So for any USD pair, kind of really just favoring more weakness, to be honest. Or if anything, just staying neutral. But dollar's so bearish, so it's probably going to be the dominating currency. And then, of course, you got gold and silver. Surprisingly, gold was down. Yeah, gold is currently down a little bit on the day. I say that because, of course, USD being so weak, you would expect gold at least to be a little bit bullish, even if there are external factors of what's dictating gold's price. But we actually are down a little bit right now. Again, gold's looking pretty corrective now. The market is still very bullish, but we're becoming a bit more corrective. We just about swept the highs here, and you can see we left two big wicks to the upside. So we're no longer seeing that really forceful momentum. Don't get me wrong, gold is still, as a whole, very, very bullish. But it's a sign that we're becoming a bit more corrective now, and we're starting to slow down. So perhaps a bigger retracement is on the card soon with gold. I wouldn't say shorts look good right now because we're coming back into this kind of wick territory here where the market's found it really, really hard to break through. Drop to the hourly chart as well. Yeah, as we approach this area, this is not a place you want to be looking to sell into. Even if price does break through, you want price to clear that mess out the way, and then perhaps there'll be opportunities on some pullbacks afterwards. Now's not the time to be looking to sell. I wouldn't be so enthusiastic with the buys either, just because it looks like the market is a bit tired. We might see a bit of a bounce there for gold, but because the market is tired, I'll probably be getting ready to sell it. But as I mentioned, we need to break out of that kind of mess, break some structure first before shorts look good. But what I can see is that gold is tiring, and there is that swing high back here, which perhaps we could be coming back to get a test of around 30.57. So yeah, I am throwing a bit of a bearish swing for gold. We still might have another bullish move first before we do see that swing. So I'm not saying the swing has to happen right now, but I'm looking for a bit of retracement now for gold. And silver is already seeing a lot of downside. Last time I had a look at that one, it was falling pretty hard, and it is still falling pretty hard. So this is interesting because I'm still very bullish in silver, still looking to buy it. It looks like to me we're just having some trouble at the resistance here, and I'm looking to see how deep of a correction, how deep of a bearish move do we get. I'm still very much looking to buy. There's still a massive level on the daily chart here, which I was originally looking to buy from, but we kind of just missed it, which is why I kind of got a bit of a late entry to my silver trade a couple of weeks ago. Now potentially are we going to get that retest? Well, it looks likely. Momentum's looking extremely bearish. The level's not too far away. It does look like we're probably going to get the test of this area. So I'm going to see what we do here. I'm still bullish on silver. Still looking to buy it. And if we hold support here, I will be looking for some entries. We've still got this bullish trend line. As long as price can hold this territory here, I remain bullish. If we snap through that, then I'm backing away. Yeah, we might see a much bigger retracement if that happens. But yeah, if we can come into that area, respect it, maybe find some wicks, I'll look for some entries, then targets right back at the highs, or at least back to these highs here anyway for silver. And yeah, that's kind of really where I'm at with USD side of things right now. USD looks incredibly bearish. Silver looks like a nice opportunity to pick up some longs. USD pairs are flying. I expect them to continue really. So I think that the best way to tackle them is wait for some pullbacks and look to ride that momentum. What's up, Brian? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Serge, isn't Euro supposed to be weak after the tariffs announcement? Yeah, but I think USD is just so strong. Although, yeah, I don't think Euro is weak in general. Euro against the Aussie is pretty strong. Euro against CHF, that's a bit weak there. Euro against CAD, that's a bit strong. Yeah, I think Euro is a bit bit mixed to be honest, but USD is just so weak. So even if Euro was strong as well, it's going to have to be if Euro is weak, it's going to have to be weaker than USD to actually move down, and that's going to be a bit of a task there. So yeah, dollar right now is the dominant currency, and that weakness is just weaker than everything else. So that is why Euro is flying. Morning, Ben. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. Remember a few months ago when the tariff news would pump the dollar. Now it absolutely nukes it. Yeah, that's the markets for you. Darkshaw, Naz, and GJ in 5 minutes, please. Okay, I'll take a look. CS Integrated, welcome. Hope you're well. I stay on the side and no trade. Missed the chance, but better than wrong direction, lose money. Looking around now. Yeah, of course. You know, no trade is better than a bad trade, of course. If there is nothing, there's no need to force it. There's always opportunities. I know in this particular environment where you're seeing big moves left, right, and center, if you're not in a trade, you kind of do have the feeling of you're missing out on something. And all you're missing out on is just moves that happen a bit quicker, because the market is going to move regardless of news or not. You know, we will see moves over the course of the year. It's just when you get these fundamental catalysts, they happen a lot quicker, a lot more violently. You know, hit your targets quicker as well. So that's the only thing you're missing out on, which again, when you be in the markets for a while, you get used to it. The key thing you want to focus on is taking a good position. If there is no good position to take, then staying out the market is always the best option. Ben, I'm going to stay at the market until next week. Just feel like these are prime conditions to get chopped up and taken out for some nasty wicks. Yeah, and we do have NFP on Friday as well. So the circus is not finished yet. We still do have NFP, although I don't think NFP will cause as much movement as we're seeing today. Don't get me wrong, NFP can definitely do something like that. But I feel like the markets are having their fun today. But yeah, we'll see what happens. NFP is definitely an event to watch out for as well. Yeah, I mean, again, if you're looking to trade these markets, especially like Euro USD, for example, if you're not already in a position, then you're kind of waiting for the market to pull back. Maybe you're trying to fade the highs and call the tops here. That could be a nice trade as well. I'm more focused with following that momentum. So I want price to come to me, and that could probably take until next week anyway. So a chart like Euro USD probably won't present an opportunity until next week easily. I'll go through NAS and GJ in the 5 minutes. We'll go for the dollar as well, cease integrated. What's up, Miracle? Welcome to the stream. Yes, we'll go for the yen pairs as well. Ivan, good morning. Hope you're doing good. Aussie CAD, yes, we'll take a look. Serge, what is up? Do you think NFP could turn around EU? Potentially, but I don't think it will be a full turnaround. I don't think it will be a situation where, okay, now I'm expecting Euro USD to absolutely fall apart. It might give us a bearish move, but if it does, that would be great because I'll be looking to pick it back up and take it to the upside. The way I see the market structure in the higher time frames, Euro USD looks very, very bullish to me. This is like a big V-shaped pattern, impulse down, consolidation, impulse up. These patterns normally do represent a lot more upside. And I think there's a good chance that we do eventually take out these highs. I do expect dollar to eventually take out these lows. So if NFP gives us a bullish move for the dollar, great. I feel like that's just an opportunity just to short it back down again. I find it very difficult to see a reversal for us to suddenly form a high low here and turn around completely. Of course, that could happen. Anything could happen. But in terms of probability, I would expect Euro to keep pushing. If it does push down on NFP, great. There might be some opportunities for us to take advantage of. Anyway, let me go through NAS and GJ in the 5 minute. So NAS, excuse me. So of course NAS, we had that crazy bearish move yesterday, and it looks like price has just gone and filled that gap down the left. We've completed that. When did we do that? That was from yesterday, wasn't it? 2nd of April. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we filled that gap. For me, I'm pretty bearish on NAS. So just looking at the higher time frames quickly, have we hit 18.5? Okay, not quite. I thought we hit that level. So I'm still looking for a little bit more downside in the higher time frames for NAS. I'm looking at 18,500 for us to get into. Very, very nice close last week. Beautiful wick to the upside, strong body close. So we were favoring price to push down. We were talking about a couple of areas to short from. I was talking initially about this level, which we did see a nice move briefly, although we did find support here on our left. Then we had another big push. Then we pushed into this kind of territory where we had this kind of corrective behavior before we had that sell. Price tapped into that level from the news yesterday from Trump. And then we had the continuation there, really aggressive move. So now that we've seen that move, I do think we can see more downside. However, we are still kind of trading into support on our left. So it's a little bit sticky. It would be nice if price could push up a little bit first, perhaps maybe back into this kind of territory, maybe even come back and we test that prior low there. That would be a nice place to perhaps get short again and maybe catch another swing. So that would be nice to take into consideration. But yeah, on the 5 minute chart, things still look pretty bearish still. Looks like we're coming back into some supply there on the left here where we had a brief pause, push to the downside, of course, with the gap. Looks like price is finding it a little bit difficult to break through that. There is this prior low here as well, which we just mentioned. I think shorts is the best thing to be looking for here. To be honest, I'm not too sure if I'll look to swing it all the way back down to the low. I think that's a little bit greedy. Could happen. But the market is, of course, putting in higher lows right now. So need to be wary of that. As we come back into this consolidation, price might still want to put a higher low in there as well, which could provide some nice shorts as we come back into the high here. Or even if we have a bigger move coming back into the high of there, I think that would also be a nice place for a short as well. But yeah, I think shorts look good for the NAS. Overall, very bearish on this one. Momentum is still with the bears, so that's naturally the direction that I would want to trade in. This is a nice place where the market's found some resistance. So if we get there again, see a solid rejection, I think that would be a nice place to short again. Or if we push a little bit higher, there is that low there, or even this low if you have a bigger push, where I think shorts will look good too. Again, whether we get all the way back here in one go, I think we can, but it'll be a speculative move. There'll probably be other areas where you look to banks and partials or banks and profits before that. But yeah, that is kind of what I'm expecting. More downside, but the fact that we're at support might mean that we do push up a little bit before we do continue to sell. In terms of GJ in the 5 minutes, so this one I did end up getting into another trade for this one. Took some entries there, did take a loss on this one as we did break to the upside. It was before the news, but is that the 4 hour chart? Yeah, so this candle here did take me out the trade. I'm looking to see if I can get back in. I'm still very bearish on pound yen and euro yen as well, but the market is just very, very choppy right now. Ideally, kind of want to be in at the high. But of course, because I'm not in the trade at the high, I'm going to have to look to see what I can do. At the moment, we do have some support here. So I'm kind of looking to see if we can clear that first and then look for some opportunities below that. Something like that would be nice. A drop below that and then a retest and a continuation. Euro yen looks a little bit cleaner, so I'm kind of a bit more focused with that one. As for the 5 minute chart here, I think it looks good in the 5 minute actually. Very strong impulse up. We push down. To me, it looks like prices come back into resistance more or less and potentially form a bit of a top. So to me, I would expect price to kind of continue to the downside and go and break these lows and continue that bearish move. To me, this looks like one last bullish move, maybe trapping some buyers on the way up. And now we've kind of picked our direction. I know we're coming back into a lot of support, but I do expect price to break through that. So in terms of opportunities to get into a trade, I mean, of course, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Ideally, kind of want to be taking the position up there. So either price revisits that area and we get another short maybe later in the day. Kind of that kind of territory, 193.6 to 193.9, that kind of area would be a nice place for a short. Or waiting for price to clear support and look for some retest afterwards. That probably might be a trade for the day after, for tomorrow. But yeah, the way I see it, pound yen is likely to keep falling. In terms of entries, I just want price to be back at resistance so I can get a decent stop loss in and then continue that momentum. But yeah, pound yen, I do still see more downside for this one. So yeah, yen pair is looking pretty bearish. I like this big kind of bullish move here because it kind of sends the market one way to go the other. A very common pattern, kind of had it here a little bit as well. And yeah, I do think there's a good chance we break support and continue falling. And we've got some really big targets to look at as well. 187.5 and probably beyond that as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with pound yen and the NAS on the 5 minute. I'll take a look at the dollar next. We'll go through Aussie CAD as well. Godfrey, good morning. Pound yen 15 trying to buy to the upside, 192.865. Okay, I'm pretty bearish on pound yen, but there is support below us which we might bounce from. I do expect it to eventually break. Whether we bounce first or not, of course, I don't know. We could very much come back into this level, bounce and push back into resistance. I'm expecting it to eventually break, but we might still see another bullish swing. So in terms of a location to buy from, 192.865, where is that? 865. Okay, that's around here somewhere. So let me know, are you looking to buy based on yeah, what's the reason for you looking to enter there? Because I generally thought you were looking to enter at the low there. So if I was looking to buy, I would definitely wait for price to approach support. Again, that's just how I trade. Before looking to buy, it's also nice support there on the left as well, so that could give us a nice reaction. But yeah, for pound yen, I would be particularly bearish on this one, and the areas of interest would be more or less in this territory. So that's kind of where I would like to position myself short, because I know that we're back at resistance. I can probably get myself a safe stop loss to take a sell, and I do have that higher time frame bias as well, where I'm expecting a much longer term move to the downside. So if I can short, it means that if my longer term bias does play out, I can possibly leave positions to trail and take advantage of that move as well. But from a bullish standpoint, we are coming back into some really key support. If we look to the left, it has held price very well. So I do think buys look good there. If we see the necessary rejection, Yeah, I'm not too sure why you would be looking to buy there. I suppose maybe that bullish move there, kind of creating area demand. Maybe that's what you're looking to buy from. But if it was me, I would be waiting for price to push back into support before looking to get an entry. But yeah, I'm very bearish anyway, so I wouldn't be looking to buy. I'm pretty bearish on pound yen, looking for it to break support. But in my opinion, euro yen looks a little bit better, so I think I'll be a bit more focused on that one. No problem, happy to help. Serge, do you only trade higher time frames like daily and 4 hour? Most of the time, my entries will be on the 4 hour chart, but sometimes I would take some entries on the hourly if it makes sense to. But most of the time, it is on the 4 hour chart, and of course, sometimes I will take some trades on the daily as well. I do look for swing opportunities. I base my trades on the daily and the weekly, so I base my swings on those time frames, so I can look for some pretty big moves. I don't always look to try and take advantage of those moves in one go. But my plan is, take my profits at reasonable areas and then hold remaining positions to go and hit the bigger targets that potentially could get hit. But yeah, most of my entries 4 hour chart, sometimes daily, sometimes hourly. What's up, Sage Trader? Check out Euro Aussie. Okay, I'll go through dollar Aussie CAD first, and then I will go through Euro Aussie. So yeah, dollar looking extremely bearish. See it's integrated. I see a possible 100.868, but let's see first. Yeah, I agree. I said I think there's a good chance we get to 100.3, which is the support level there. Yeah, I think price just kind of faked the high here, giving us that big fake out. And now I see momentum really step back in. So the way I see it right now with the dollar is I would like to come back into support and possibly take out the support as well. Because if I scale right to the higher time frames, I'm still kind of looking at potentially a high forming here for a bigger swing. But yeah, that's definitely a story for another day. But the way I see it, that price was looking very bullish towards the end of the year into Jan. And if price was going to break out of this range, then we should have kept going. But we came back in, had a very aggressive close in March, back to the downside there. And of course, April's already kick-started its momentum. So I would expect us to eventually reach support down here, which is 100.5, 100.3. And at least test that level, but I do think we'll probably eventually break through as well, because we kind of fake to go one way, and normally when price does that, it normally breaks the other. So that's why I'm expecting it to break. But at least test, we might bounce there first as well. So there could be some nice buys from that zone. But yeah, dollar's looking exceptionally bearish right now. We've cleared support like it's not there. So any pullbacks, any good pullbacks for dollar, I think will provide some nice shorting opportunities for it. Or some longs on euro, longs on pound, or longs on another USD pair. But yeah, I do agree. I think that kind of 100.5 area, I think there's a good chance that the dollar does end up at that level. We'll go through Aussie CAD. So Aussie CAD, with this one, I've been looking to short it, but I feel like price has already had a bit of a short, and especially with the news as well, because we wicked to the upside. Now we've had a pretty big move to the downside. Of course, this daily candle is still live, so I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt, but at the moment, that's a really aggressive wick to the downside, and now price has pulled back and is actually looking bullish. I'll wait for that candle to close. Still got about 11 hours left, so that candle could look a lot different by the end of the day potentially. But if it does flip bullish, then it tells me essentially that the support here is held very, very well. And probably at that point, we're going to get a bit of a push to the upside. Even if it's just back into resistance, it could mean a lot more, possibly back into the swing high there on the left. But at least the push back into 0.93, 0.90300. So yeah, at the moment, it looks like support is holding very well on the daily chart. Like I said, we'll wait for the daily candle to close to really understand whether that's the case or not. But if that's the case, then maybe some pullbacks tomorrow or Monday, if we can push back down, could provide some nice buys with a bit more of a refined stop loss, because if the stop loss is there, your risk reward won't look too good. But if you can refine it somewhere, get a decent little trade going. But yeah, Aussie CAD to me looks like we're probably going to get a bullish move now. I've been looking to short it, but we've never really seen that low high form. And now it's kind of just very, very choppy and still respecting support. So I'm kind of backing away from that bearish bias. I do think eventually we could still get there, but with the price action looking how it's looking, I think I'll just give it a pass right now. But yeah, based on that daily candle close, it looks like we're probably going to get a bit of a bullish move here. But I'd wait for the candle to close before really cementing that. Euro Aussie. This one, I was looking to see how the weekly candle is going to close, because yesterday we had those big wicks, but it looks like price is just going to fill them. Because yesterday we were having a wick, price was actually looking pretty bearish on stream yesterday. I said depending how this weekly candle closed, there might be some nice shorts to take advantage of. But that's why it's so important to wait for candles to close, because at one point it's looking particularly bearish and now it's looking bullish. So you're going to get a different signal based on the candle. And again, it still hasn't closed yet. We've still got another day in 12 hours, so it could still pull back and leave another wick. Still got NFP on Friday. But what I can see is that we've had this big bullish move and now the market's pausing. So is it going to break to the upside? Is it going to break to the downside? Not too sure yet. The market is, of course, in a bullish trend. So if it does break to the upside, we're just looking at a continuation of that trend. But right now we've pushed right back into the high. So if anything, it's probably not a bad place for a sell. I just wouldn't be too aggressive with it, because there's no kind of indication of us reversing. It could just be a situation where we have a bit of a correction to keep pushing to the upside. Perhaps back into this area could be a nice place to lock in some gains, just to protect yourself, because you're going against the trend, you're going against the grain. Possibly that still wants to continue. Maybe it's double topping to reverse, and you can still look for the bigger move. But being prepared to close early when you do see bullish momentum kick back in is a very important aspect of managing a counter trend position. Otherwise, you'll see your profits disappear pretty quickly. But yeah, it's into a nice level. It looks like price is rejecting pretty well. Hourly chart is holding pretty well as well. There is some support here which we're holding on to. Could even wait for a nice close below that as a nice entry signal. And that could give you a nice short back into this zone. And then you can go from there, whether you're looking for a bigger swing or just looking for a shorter term position. But it's at a nice level. I do think shorts look good here. But again, taking with a pinch of salt, we're still counter trend. Shorts back into a zone like this looks good. If you just see heavy selling pressure, you can hold on longer, of course. Otherwise, if you do see bullish pressure, step back in. That could be your sign to get out the trade, or at least lock in some gains. But yeah, Euro Aussie is at a nice place for a short. Just watch out with that trend. No problem, happy to help. But I was looking at the 2-hour time frame before continuing to sell. Okay. Is that for GJ? Oh no. Yeah, it was for GJ. Okay, what's going on with the 2-hour time frame? Yeah. So you're looking for price to push up before it continues to sell? I mean, we can still very much see that. I mean, it would be nice if price does see another push to the upside, because that would give some nice opportunities on the lower time frames to short. Basically, we've got resistance there. Price manipulated that, retest it, and then potentially turns around. That would be nice. But yeah, because I have such a bearish bias with pound yen, I'm not really interested with the buys. Even if there was a decent buy opportunity, to be honest, I'd probably would just skip it, because I'm kind of just waiting to sell the market. But some solid support below us. We could get a bounce from there I do expect price to eventually break it. Of course, I could be wrong as well. I do have a bearish bias, but maybe that bias is wrong too. I'm getting a lot of red flags on the weekly chart with all these wicks. You can see a couple of weeks ago, nice wick to the upside. Last week, nice wick to the upside. Of course, this week, another wick to the upside, but again, candle hasn't closed yet. Can't take that into consideration too much. What we can take is that so far resistance is holding. Let's see if that remains true by the end of the week. If it does, then we've got kind of 3 big wicks to the upside. It does look like to me that price is just potentially putting its next lower high in. So one over there, second, that will be our third. Then you're looking at a pretty nice swing back into the low here at 187 pretty much. So that's where the bearish bias comes from for pound yen. And that's why I'm kind of looking at this as a bit of a top, which is why I liked the move yesterday, because it was very, very bullish. And to me, it's kind of like price is having, one last push to the upside, trying to break bullish, but failing and falling flat in its face a little bit. So, if we can clear support here, I think that would be the catalyst to really get pound yen selling and on our way back into support. But we'll see as that develops here. Okay, where was I? Yusuf, what is up? Hope you're well. Can you please look at gold and pound USD in the 15 euro if you don't mind? Okay, I'll take a look. Gold 15 minute. I did have a look at gold in the 15, didn't I? It was just looking. Oh, that was the hourly chart. So yeah, gold. Yeah, gold. What I can tell about gold is that it's starting to become a little bit more fatigued. We've had pretty clean price action on the way up, but now you can see there's a difference to the price action. We created new highs past this swing point here. Instead of just kind of continuing gracefully, we kind of fell flat in our face a little bit. So gold is giving me signs that we're running out of steam, running out of momentum, and there could be a bigger retracement on the cards soon. In terms of 50-minute opportunities, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the price action. It's very, very choppy. Very, very choppy. I mean, there's a pretty solid level of resistance going across here. I think that would be a nice place for a short-term sell. Something like this, kind of looking for the continuation of that momentum, correction into resistance. Might give you a nice little short back into this kind of area where there's a lot of wicks collecting, which is 31.10, we'll call it. A lot of wicks into this area. I would expect us to probably wick back into that. I think that could be a nice little trade in the 15 or even 5-minute as well for gold. Shorts back at the level, and there's your swing. But again, from here, we may just find support and push right back up again. So I'm not looking for anything crazy with gold just yet. I do think we're going to retrace soon, but I need price to really break structure first before I say, okay, gold's going to retrace now. We can start looking for some bigger sells. But from a 50-minute chart, it's very, very flat, to be honest. We tried to break the highs, failed to do that. Again, shorts on gold are still counter trend, so do take that into consideration. But this is a pretty solid level, which we've tested numerous times. Another push back into that area could provide a nice short back into resistance. But of course, looking for some solid rejection, not just shorting because price is there. And if price does break through that, then that's probably our sign that says, okay, gold's going to push back to the highs again. Or at least this area here. And a nice brief pause there. A lot of momentum came from, so at least back to 31.47. But yeah, I like the shorts there. Counter trend plays, a lot of momentum there. We had this big bullish move, which kind of amounted to nothing. So I do think gold can still see some downside. In terms of pound USD on the 15, that's just looking very bullish, I would guess. So not a lot to take into consideration here, apart from just a lot of momentum. You want to see some pullbacks here for pound USD. There's not a lot of information here apart from just momentum, really. The last bearish candle was all the way back over there, and since then the market's just been flying. So what you want to see, if you look to trade for momentum, is a bit of a corrective pullback now, perhaps even a retest of that area, and that could potentially provide some longs. But when the market is this bullish, you kind of want to just stay on your toes and just see how price reacts. Potentially, we might hit a bit of a top and we have a heavy sell. In that case, if we have a bit of a heavy sell, then I wouldn't be looking to buy from here because perhaps there could be a bigger retracement on the cards. Pound USD is still pretty stretched as well, even on the higher time frames. But if we have a slow corrective pullback, then something could arise, perhaps a retest of that zone. So as we get more candlesticks, we'll get more information, and then we can make a better judgment of what the next move likely will be with pound USD. At the moment, all I can say is that it's extremely bullish, and pullbacks is kind of what you want to be looking for. Euro USD likewise as well, a lot of bullish momentum. What is that line? Okay, that's just my analysis. So yeah, again with this one, breaking through the high here, we've looked exceptionally bullish since then. So again, there might be a nice correction for Euro back into this area potentially. Might see a nice corrective behavior into there, and that could provide a nice buy perhaps. Maybe later this afternoon, or maybe tomorrow morning, or, well, yeah, tomorrow afternoon we've got NFP, so might not want to be trading Euro on the 50-minute chart at that point. But again, a corrective pullback could provide some nice opportunities. At the moment, there's just not a lot of information to take in apart from just upside, upside, upside. You would have to scale to the higher time frames to take into consideration where we're trading, which is starting to come back into some bearish territory here. Of course, that consolidation here is what gave us that massive move, and looks like we've just come back to test that for the first time. So maybe a pullback is on the cards for Euro. But I think taking any shorts is always just a bit aggressive right now. There's a lot of momentum. The market's pretty bullish. Best thing to do is wait for the market to come to you, find some buys, and ride that momentum. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro, pounds, and gold on the 15. Hopefully that made sense. I will go through some of the yen pairs. Okay, we'll take a look at that Ben first, and then we'll go through some of the yen pairs as well, because they've had some very, very interesting moves, and they've had some very interesting moves. And I'm looking at a lot of yen strength, and the yen basket too is looking very interesting as well. Is this the right one? Let me know if this is the right chart, Ben. Okay, I think it is. Okay, so looks like Nike is looking hella bearish right now. It's been falling. Damn, it's been falling since December 2021. To be fair, I don't think I've ever looked at Nike before. So this is the first time. I didn't realize it's been falling since then. What's going on with Nike? This is a pretty big correction. What's the percentage drop in that? Damn, 66, 65. Could be a decent time to pick up Nike, to be honest. It's a big correction. Anyway, so yeah, looking really bearish. Below 2020 lows. When was 2020? Okay, yeah, we are coming to the 2020 lows as well, which is COVID, which is pretty insane as well. Back below COVID lows. Not many stocks are doing that. So yeah, looking bearish with Nike. I'm not really seeing any signs of reversal, to be honest. It is still pretty corrective. It's not like we're falling out the sky. So I do expect us to eventually fizzle out, as many corrective moves do eventually do. The more corrective we are, the more likely the price is about to bounce to the upside. So we're not really falling heavily. It's kind of a corrective fall, which is actually a bit of a good thing. So we probably will turn at some point, but of course we're not really seeing any signs of that happening right now. So probably going to see a lot more downside as well. But that is weird though. Don't know many stocks which are coming into COVID lows, because this is top since December 2021 and hasn't looked back since. Yeah, it's down pretty bad. I had no idea Nike was down like that. What about Adidas? Okay. Trying to find a chart that goes back to 2020. Okay. When was 2020? Okay, this one did trade below 2020 as well. But yeah, that one's not looking too good either, to be honest. I mean, it looks better than Nike though. Trend's a little bit healthier. But yeah, Nike not looking too good at all. But I think it's a good time to pick up Nike, to be honest, if you're just looking for a long-term play. 65% down from highs. Good return on investment there. But probably be prepared for some drawdown. Anyway, let's go through some of the yen pairs. I'll start with the yen basket because that is a good measure of what the yen could do next. Oh, okay. Down another 9% since the announcement last night. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Nike, man. Not looking too good for them. But yeah, I think Nike's a huge company, so I'm expecting it to turn around eventually. But yeah, Nike has been down bad. Do you normally look at stocks, Ben? Because I don't think I've ever looked at Nike before. Yen basket is looking interesting. I like the wicks there to the downside on the weekly chart. 1, 2, and again, possibly a third one. Still got a day and a half left before that candle does close. But the way I see it, it looks like we're putting another higher low here. We had those 3 wicks to the upside, gave us a move down. Now we've got 3 wicks to the downside, possibly gives us a move back up again. I like the wick yesterday as well. Really aggressive wick to the downside, back into support. Now it looks like today's pretty much reversed all that momentum as well. And the key thing, which I was mentioning yesterday as well, breaking through resistance here, which is, what's that, 67.75? Because that was kind of what my issue was with the yen pairs, that we're still struggling to break the resistance. Then price kind of gives us that move, and now we kind of break through that. So if that's the case, then we've got the green light for a push back into this level, and hopefully that kickstart the bigger swing all the way back to the high there. I know I'm asking for a lot, but the higher time frames look good. So with the yen, the way I'm interpreting this is that we've fallen a bit of a double bottom. We now have gone and broken through some structure, taking out the highs here. So now I just want to see a bit of a correction from that, and then a continuation, and that could be a nice trade idea to base a trade around. Because of course you could have your stop loss all the way down here, which will give you the safest trade opportunity to take, because at that point, you know, your stop loss is in a very, very safe place. If the market's going to hit your stop loss there, then yeah, you definitely in the completely wrong direction. But it does skew your risk to reward. You know, push back into resistance, less than a 1-to-1. If you can kind of squeeze a stop loss here, that suddenly turns into a 1-to-3, potentially a 1-to-4, and the risk reward becomes worthwhile. Of course, you're more at risk to potentially getting wicked out randomly before price goes in your direction, which of course is just one of the downsides of it. You know, trading's not, you know, something that you just find a magic holy grail to. With every positive, there's going to be a negative. You know, with a wide stop loss, chance of the trade succeeding go a lot higher, but then again, you don't make a lot of profit and you win. A very tight stop loss, very high chance of getting wicked out, but then if you do catch a winner, could be looking at some big risk rewards. So it's it's a balancing act. You know, what do you sacrifice a little bit more of? But yeah, if I'm going to look to base a trade here, I would like to probably have my risk just below that kind of area. Of course, I'm not looking to trade the yen basket, but something similar to this would look good. And then euro yen, which is the yen pair I'm more focused on. This one hasn't quite broken through support yet. It's actually had a bit of a bounce there, so I'm kind of still waiting for us to clear that support level. So as you can see, a lot of support there. Today's candle was looking pretty bearish at one point, but it's managed to wick back above. But again, I really like the wick from yesterday. Big bullish candle at one point, but we pierced that resistance, and then we came all the way back down. You can see on the weekly chart as well, from a weekly standpoint, a lot of wicks piling into this area. It looks like the market's really struggling to hold resistance up here. Therefore, euro yen, in my book, is likely to roll over. We've got some lovely support below us. That, of course, will be the expectation for euro yen to get to. So with all these wicks normally represent a high, it's a good thing to keep a lookout for on the weekly and the daily chart. If the market keeps firing wicks into a zone, it's likely going to reverse from there. It's going to be very difficult for us to break through this. Of course, anything can happen, and there will be times where we do break into that. But it's going to be very difficult for price to do. Likely, price is going to move in the path of least resistance, which in this case would be to the downside. Of course, the current daily candle still has a day and a half left, so still taking that into consideration. But if we can close similar to how we're looking right now, if we can manage to break through some support there, I think that'll be the catalyst for a short, and away we go. And how many pips we're looking? From the break of that support to this support here, looking at about 500 pips there. So if you can catch a 100 pips stop loss, take advantage of half of that, 250 pips, you're still looking at 1 to 2.5 there, which again, decent risk reward. Don't have to look for the full swing. Don't have to catch a sniper entry or anything to make a decent profit there. So there is a bit of mileage there for Euro Yen, keeping a close eye on that. But at the moment, we're still respecting support. Pretty strong close down the 4-hour chart, a bit of a wick there as well. So yeah, I think shorts will be a little bit too premature right now for me, but definitely something I'm keeping a close eye on. What's up, Julius? Hope you're well. However, would you like to know which platform you use to trade stocks, and is it divided paying? I don't trade stocks, Julius. I don't trade stocks. I was just having a look for Ben on the stream. I only trade FX, FX, commodities, and recently a bit more of indices. But yeah, I do not trade stocks. Silver's dropping, hoping for a nice big wick back into that, back to the upside around 32. Yeah, 32.5 is roughly where I'm looking at. If the market would be kind enough to oblige. Yeah, sometimes you have to ask if the market is going to oblige. But yeah, that is a really nice zone for silver. I'm keeping a close eye on that because I did get taken out of my trades at the start of this week, my long position. So now I'm looking for revenge with silver. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I'm actually looking for revenge. So yeah, we're coming back into a lovely zone here. So 32.5-ish. We're kind of coming into that now, aren't we? But yeah, anywhere in this zone. So 32 to 32.5 is kind of my area of interest. Got a lovely trend line running through the market there as well. Again, a lovely wick into that zone would be amazing. And then I'll hopefully find some entry to take that to the upside. If, however, we break through that, then I'll definitely back away from silver. I still kind of have that natural bullish bias for silver, but a break through that will indicate probably a lot more downside, and I don't know, maybe we do tank. I'm not so keen to short silver. If there's a good opportunity, I won't pass it up, but I like the bias for silver. And yeah, if we can respect that area, I think we're probably looking at a similar area there, Matt. I think that's a solid place for a buy. And again, with USD being so weak, I think there's a good chance we do see silver eventually bounce as well. Matt 2645, what is up? Took profit on my long pound yen trade yesterday before Trump. Shorts do look again now ugly head and shoulders. Yeah. We did have that crazy move to the upside. Now price, of course, reversed there. Yeah, I think the market's still likely to form a bit of a top, so I'm still looking at price turning around. But yeah, it was a big wick to the upside, and I feel like it probably would have trapped some late comers into the market, because what you would have seen yesterday would have been a lot of momentum, and that could have triggered some people into a trade, based on fear of missing out. As the market's buying, let me buy into that, and then we've come all the way back down again. So the way I see it is that we've kind of had one last spike to the upside, and now potentially you might see price sell off. So I am looking for some pound yen shorts. At the moment, it's a little bit difficult. Still respecting support there, but I do think we can still push on. But yeah, definitely nice exit there, because we did come crashing back down. If not, back to the drawing board, coming down pretty hard though. Don't want to catch a falling knife. Of course, yeah. Want to see some rejection at that level. If we do break through, then yeah, definitely back to the drawing board, kind of backing away and just see what silver does do, perhaps we do have a bit of a sell-off, to be honest. Of course, anything is on the cards, but yeah, solid confluence in that area. And if price can respect it, if things look good, then it looks like a decent trading opportunity to me. I've been getting into, okay, a lot more into stocks and less into Forex. I'm trading mostly the US indices and gold now. Okay, looking to trade individual stocks soon. Okay, interesting. How come? It's also good for long-term investments, as well known what companies are strong. Okay, yeah, true. Yeah, if you're going to do that as well, then it can definitely complement that. But yeah, how come you're moving a bit more into stocks? Is it just something you just want me to get involved with, or yeah? Because not a lot of people in the UK normally gravitate towards stocks. It's normally just Forex, because of course it's just pretty popular. It's easily accessible as well. But yeah, not a lot of stocks. Yusuf, no problem. Happy to help. Happy to help. Joseph, good morning. Hope you're good. Please, can you explain yesterday's setup that you shared via Telegram, please? Then you understand. Yeah, I did take a loss on that pound yen position. Price had broken through support and was respecting it as resistance, but the resistance didn't hold yesterday. And so this was the level, and I got short based on the rejection of that level, and the stops were above the high, but of course that level didn't hold. I was looking for basically the breakout of the channel we had here. I was looking for momentum to come back in. But of course, in hindsight, we can see price had that one more push to the upside, which basically just manipulated that level. Anyone with stops above here would have got flushed out in the market. Now we come crashing back down. So it was just a bit getting into the market a little bit too early, as the market kind of flushes me out and then the market comes back down again. So yeah, trade didn't go to plan there, but essentially just looking for the breakout of that channel, retest the resistance, and then the continuation of the momentum. But unfortunately, momentum didn't continue. We spiked one more to the upside. Yeah, I feel like that was just, again, of course, with the news yesterday, but the way I'm seeing it, especially with the wicks to the upside, it's kind of just the market flushing people out before potentially might sell off. So just jumping the gun a little bit there with that entry, but hopefully you can find a nice re-entry to get back in and take advantage of the move. Okay. Yeah, it would be more volatile, to be honest. Yeah. Do stocks for long-term holdings? Okay. Last few weeks in the dollar's kind of thing I got sick of. Fair enough. Just that relentless drop. Yeah, fair enough. Even in these range there, enough. Yeah, that's the downside about FX. FX can be very choppy at times. Which is the main reason why I trade a lot of FX pairs, I monitor a lot, because there will be times, especially in the higher time frames, where things can consolidate for months on end, to be honest, and it could be a situation where I don't take a trade on a particular FX market for even a year, to be honest, if things don't look good. The focus is where the market is moving, and FX can be quite choppy. Indices do have that kind of natural trend to them a bit. They move a little bit faster as well. Just the day-to-day price action is a bit faster. So I can definitely see the reason to go and to trade those a little bit more. But the way I see it, a market is a market. As long as you're kind of aware of the pros and cons and what you get involved in, then opportunity is an opportunity, whether it's on an index, whether it's on a stock, crypto, commodity, whatever, FX. A good opportunity is a good opportunity. But I do understand FX can get very trouble, especially the minor pairs, especially CHF pairs. They can be horrendous. No problem, Julius. If you were to start with 1K, what would you have done to make a difference? And guys, please smash the like button. Appreciate it, Julius. Appreciate it. What do you mean make a difference? Do you mean grow that 1K account or? Yeah, I'm confused with your question. Do you mean if I start off a 1K account, what I've done to have grown that, or? Yeah, I'm confused. Matt Trump's. Yeah, I mean that's politics for you there, Matt. That's politics for you. Oh, okay, grow it. Yeah, I mean to grow it. I mean, if you're going to grow a 1K account, you're going to have to be a bit more aggressive. Um, I think in terms of trading wise, like style, um, I probably wouldn't look for anything long term. I'd still be looking at swing trading, but I think in terms of my scope, I'll probably try and keep it just to like holding trades, maybe 2, 3, 4 days tops. I wouldn't try and hold for more than a week, to be honest. Um, and yeah, I'll probably look for trades last 2, 3, 4 days. So I'll probably spend most of my time probably on the hourly chart, hourly 4 hour in terms of entries. Because hourly chart, you can also get some really nice trades that last 24 hours and get a decent trade, but sometimes you can swing them a little bit longer as well. 4 hours pretty good as well, but sometimes 4 hour can take more than a week plus to really play out. There's nothing wrong about holding a little bit longer. It's just that if you're trying to grow a smaller account, you want to be taking in profit a little bit quicker. If you have a larger account, you can take your time a little bit more. So yeah, I would probably operate more so on the hourly time frames. And yeah, I'll probably keep the risk rewards, nothing too crazy. Probably just around 1 to 2s, nothing too crazy. And just focus on taking good setups, because if I want to grow a small account quickly, I probably would increase the risk a lot, maybe 3, 4, 5% per trade, and just focus on taking very good trades and keeping the frequency of my trading down. Because if of course you hit a bad run, you quickly lose a good chunk of that. But yeah, I'll look for kind of shorter targets, 2, 3 days max holding time. Operate more so on the hourly chart, and yeah, maybe like one good trade a week, maybe two. Eric, you still in GJ Shorts? No, I'm not in GJ Shorts anymore. I'm looking to see if I can hop back in. Pound CHF now looks sells on the weekly. CHF safe haven showing strength despite weak CPI. Yeah, CHF is a little bit strong at the moment as well. Pound CHF, I haven't actually really looked at that one. What's been going on with Pound CHF? Oh my word. Literally, I had not looked at this one since yesterday, I think. I think price was starting to break bullish, so this is all new to me. Okay, I can see what you're talking about, the weekly chart as well. I mean, I'll probably still wait for that weekly candle to close before really taking in the information, because this is the level of resistance we broke out a few weeks back with this bullish candle. And since then, we've kind of just been dancing on top of that. If I scale to the daily chart, you can see price has just been back and forth above that level. Even though today's candle looks very, very bearish, we're still more or less trading into support, so we could still very much turn around. And even though this candle's got a lovely wick to the upside and looks like it's going to close bearish, could very much flip bullish and close bullish, and then we're back at square one. But it does look like price is running out of steam, because the way I'm interpreting price is that we had a very big impulse last year, July, August, and I'm still looking at this as a correction of that for continuation. So I do think we're eventually going to drop. We've got one major high over there, drop to the downside, another major high, drop to the downside. I do think a third one is going to form more or less in this territory for a drop as well. And maybe it is forming right now, but we still do have a lot of support below us and an open candle which hasn't giving us the full information yet. I do like the wicks to the upside here. It looks like price is really struggling to break higher. But what I would want to see is price breaking back underneath that level there, because then I can treat this as potentially a bit of a fake out, and then we can use this as resistance again to short from and anticipate a sell. So I do agree. I think pound CHF looks like it's forming a bit of a high. CHF looks to be quite strong right now as well. Momentum's looking particularly bearish as well, but I would like to see us get back below that level of support. And then we can treat that as resistance again and kind of look at this as being the new high in the market, or at least anticipating it to be. One over there, second, third, and then you could be looking at a really big swing. Of course, I'll probably recommend locking in some gains at some support levels, but there could be a lot of downside in store for pound CHF. So yeah, I do agree. It looks like potentially a high could be forming, but I would want price to break underneath that level, and I would wait for the weekly candle, this week's candle, to close first. I think you would have to wait for that anyway. So, but it does look like price is about to top out. Okay, so G now broke 1.32. Is the market still flying? Yeah. Still looking very bullish here. Still looking very bullish. So, yeah. I think the buys for pound USD look really good, actually, because the market's still pretty stretched. And, of course, we've broken out of this range here. So if the market would be kind enough to pull back and retest, I feel like the buys would be looking really, really good. We had a very strong impulse here. No retest of this range. Kind of the same situation occurred over here. Ranging market breaks to the upside of a lot of momentum. Another ranging market breaks to the upside of a lot of momentum. In this case, I was looking for us to come back and retest it, but we never did. Now we've got the same situation here again. Do we come back and retest it? I don't know. Potentially we do, potentially we don't. Either which way, we can clearly see this is a very strong bullish trend here. This bearish trend is completely reversed. And now we're looking at a bullish trend, so we're just focusing on the buys. Next major high would be this point over here. So that could be where pound USD is working its way towards. So basically pullbacks along the way, and you know, I would probably wouldn't say target that level outright, but trading in the direction looks to be the safe bet for me. So yeah, very bullish on pound USD. A lot of momentum. I think the more we pull away, maybe the less likely we do come back and revisit this level. But yeah, just looking at buying opportunities, and it would be nice to see price come back and retest 1.3. Big psychological level as well. But yeah, pound USD looking very, very bullish right now. Eric, but I still look for sells on CHF JPY. I agree. I haven't actually looked at CHF JPY yet. I'm supposed to go through the rest of the yen pairs. I'll do that now. But yeah, I'm still looking to sell CHF JPY as well. Pretty much any of the yen pairs, apart from maybe Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, dollar yen, maybe CAD yen. I feel like those boats have kind of sold for those pairs. But pound yen, euro yen, Swiss yen, I feel like the boats haven't quite left the docks yet. So there could be some nice shorts there. I'll take a look at CHF JPY in a second. DXY getting nearer to 100.5. Oh, Rex, are you looking to buy DXY? But yeah, DXY is absolutely melting. No problem, Julius. Happy to help. Yeah, of course, you can use prop firms as well. What you could do is use the profit from that 1K account to purchase a prop firm challenge. Because that way you're not actually using that primary money. You know, that's still in your trading account, which you can still continue to trade. And then the profits you use from that, you can also use to purchase a challenge if you want as well. Looking at longs and Aussie CAD as well, looks like this is a fake out on the H4. Yeah, we were discussing that one earlier as well. Really aggressive move to the downside. Lots of bearish weakness and daily candle. Also, tariff seems to have an effect on CAD. Yeah, CAD's been pretty weak as well. CAD's been. What has CAD been? CAD's been a bit mixed. because EuroCAD and PoundCAD, they're up. Actually, no, it hasn't been mixed. What am I on about? I thought CAD CHF was up as well, but it wasn't. CAD CHF is down. So yeah, CAD's been pretty weak. CAD's been pretty weak, apart from dollar CAD. But of course, dollar's been weaker than CAD. CAD's still weak, just USD is weaker. So yeah, CAD's been pretty weak as well. AJ looks okay from 93.25. Okay, let me go through Swiss yen. Then I'll take a look at AJ. So CHFJPY I like the look of as well. Again, I'm seeing a lot of rejection for this one. I'm getting ready to short this one as well. I like it because CHF is still a little bit strong as well. CHF is still a little bit strong, but I do expect this one to roll over. I expect all the yen pairs to roll over. CHF might just take a bit more time because CHF is a bit of a stronger currency. If you go look at the CHF pairs, you know, CHF is kind of winning the battle against most currencies right now. So I do expect us to eventually get here. Still looking at the kind of head and shoulder pattern we've kind of printed here: left head, right shoulder. That's your neckline more or less. I'm expecting price to break through that. So I do still see a lot more downside here for Swiss yen. But of course, today's candle is looking pretty bullish. That's because CHF at the moment is a bit stronger than the yen. But that doesn't change my directional bias. I'm looking in the weekly chart, past couple of weeks, a lot of wicks to the upside, 1, 2 over there. Perhaps we're going to fill the wick and maybe put another one in. We still got NFP on Friday, which could still cause a bit of havoc. I wouldn't be surprised if we do have a bigger pullback though. I'm looking at the trend line here, which I did mention last week, as possibly we could even see price come back to retest that, which is still a bit far away. And if the yen is going to be strong, I'm not too sure if we do get there, but that is a possibility for us to move into. I'm also looking at resistance here on the left as well, 171.5. We might even spike into that too. But yeah, the way I see it is that we had, again, that big bullish move that we saw across the board on the yen pairs. Price came crashing down, but it lacked follow through. Now price is back at that same resistance again. So the way I see it, I wouldn't be too surprised if we now kind of push to the resistance again before having another sell. So maybe something like that could arise there for Swiss yen. I'm not the biggest fan of taking some shorts right now though. I mean, I understand we're coming back into this kind of area here. I suppose if we see some solid rejection, that could be a nice place for a short. But I'm kind of expecting price to break through that, to be honest, because I would have expected this sell to continue. The fact that it's kind of reversed the way it has done kind of leads me to believe that we probably will break to the upside before selling off. But also keep an eye on that because we could still see a strong rejection. But yeah, Swiss yen still looks like a good sell to me. Still expecting us to come back and test support and break through, but maybe there's one more push to the upside left before we do short. Especially if the daily candle closes like this. A lot of wicks to the downside, big wick there, strong close. Again, still has 10.5 hours before it does close, so you know, we'll wait for the candle to close before really taking into things into consideration. But yeah, CHFJPY, I do like the sells with that one. Aussie yen as well. This one, pretty big drop as well with this one. With Aussie yen, I'm kind of not as interested in shorting this one because we've already reached support more or less. I know we haven't reached the low end of the support level, but we've more or less wicked into this body here, from the body to the wick. So we kind of more or less wicked into that. So Aussie yen doesn't interest me as much as some of the other yen pairs, which are a bit more high up. And I know that they can have some pretty big drops. Aussie yen has been a bit more bearish than like GJ and Euro yen because Aussie's been particularly weak. And I do think we'll break through the support as well. I do think we'll continue to break through. It's just that because we have tapped into support, it yeah, I don't like it as much as some of the other yen pairs. I can probably refine it a little bit to this area here. But I can definitely see that we've broken through some key support here. Perhaps another retest of that area could look good. Matt, you said 93 to 50, so that's more or less the level there. So yeah, it looks like a decent level, to be honest. I think at least for another push back into the low there. I mean, we could go a lot further than that as well, but I think this is your first major target where you want to kind of be on the ball a little bit. If the market shows some signs of strong rejection here, maybe that's a sign to perhaps take some partials or close the trade, or however you want to manage it. But yeah, don't get me wrong, this is definitely a nice level. Price support a couple times, really strong moves from that level, really clean breakthrough, and now looks like price is coming back to revisit that. So I do like the looks of shorts from that area. It's just as we approach 92.2, you probably want to be on the ball a little bit, managing that position. But yeah, solid level, lovely break to the downside. If you can see some decent rejection from there, I don't really see a lot wrong taking that position. I think that's a nice position there. But yeah, it's just that we've tapped that support level on the daily, which does put me off. So that's the only reason I don't like the position. But rest of that, I do think Aussie yen's likely to fall. Same thing with New Zealand yen as well. I think this one's likely to crash to the downside too. This one hasn't revisited the support level yet, so I probably would prefer this one a little bit more. But then again, Aussie has a better level. Yeah, this one's a little bit more choppy. I don't really have a clear-cut level like Aussie, too short. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. But yeah, for both of them, I'm expecting these wicks to go. New Zealand yen came pretty close last time. I think we're probably going to do it on our next attempt. Aussie yen's still pretty far away. But I do think that wick is going to go pretty soon. I'll have a look at Aussie CADs, Eric. I trade heaps of small accounts over the years, end up losing thousands after getting bored and gambling trades while constantly redepositing money. Better off buying a prop firm, trading that a couple of months. That way you only lose a couple $100 you put in rather than blowing an account. Yeah, that's true as well. That's true. When you do have small accounts, sometimes you can be a bit more reckless because the money isn't as meaningful. Even if you do hit a decent percentage, it's not gonna change your life, so to speak. So yeah, it does invite a bit more careless trading, to be honest, when you do have a bit more money in your account, or even taking a prop from challenge. Yeah, that kind of environment does make you want to trade a bit more seriously. So I definitely agree. I think there's both sides to it. Of course, I'm a big fan of prop firms, but I'm also a big fan of trading your personal account as well. I think both of them go hand to hand together really, really well. So I always would recommend, looking to take prop from challenges and take advantage of prop firms, but also have that personal account as well, because there are pros to having a personal account, and there's of course pros to having a prop firm. If you can have both, you kind of tick both boxes. So I'm a big fan of both of them. But yeah, if you do have small accounts, sometimes you can be careless. And then if you lose your deposit, it's still a small account, so you're not too bothered about it as well. But then, of course, like Matt says, it can definitely add up over the years. So definitely to be aware of that. Going to be used crosses, cross pairs. The XY can't buy due to Trump's promise to keep USD low while making others high, so foreign investors can move into US. Just my theory. Well, it does look like USD's on a one-way ticket to the downside anyway, so I think your theory might become a reality. Okay, so let me take a look at Aussie CAD, and then I'll finish up on the yen pairs. And actually, I'll take a look at some of the indices as well. I was supposed to look at them a while ago as well. We had a look at the NAS, but not S&P or US 30. So, yeah, it does look like Aussie CAD potentially just might be placing a big wick. Again, the daily candle's still young. It has moved a lot, but it's still relatively young. We've still got 10.5 hours left. This wick could fill, maybe not completely, but a good chunk of it could fill, and that gives us a completely different situation as to a big wick. And of course, this could close very bullish, and that gives us a different situation as well. If it does close pretty bullish, then you're looking at a very strong rejection of support and a likely chance that we do finish the week bullish as well. That might bleed into next week, and you probably see a push back into resistance. If we do continue to fill to the downside and close bearish, especially outside support here on the left, then that might just be a catalyst to take us back into support there as well. So a lot can happen with that daily candle, which is yet to close. On the lower time frames, we can see a big wick there. So basically 4 hours told us that support is holding pretty well, and price has bounced from that, but now we're coming back into resistance again. So it's just a bit awkward here for Aussie CAD. I do think there is an opportunity for us to push the upside, but I would wait for the daily candle to close to really confirm that. If we can get a wick on the daily as well, and that gives us more confidence that Aussie CAD probably will push back into resistance at this point. We'll see what happens from there onwards. We might come crashing down, or we might break through. But so far, 4 hour chart is doing a really good job at holding support. I like the way we've closed into that big wick, and now we're seeing momentum from that. If we can sustain that throughout the day, then you could be looking at a pretty bullish Aussie CAD back into resistance. So I do agree. I do think there's upside there. But yeah, if that candle can close even like this right now, that indicates a lovely wick and a likeliness to push to the upside. Because you can see yesterday's candle, big wick to the upside, closed bearish. What happened the following day? Big push to the downside. And now we're kind of getting the same situation back up again. What's going to happen tomorrow? Probably likely a push to the upside as well. So, yeah, that could be on the cards. But yeah, I do like the buys there for Aussie CAD as well. So I'll go through the rest of the yen pairs. I haven't looked at dollar yen yet, or CAD yen either. Indices I'll go through first. Lola, that's 100, sure thing. We'll take a look. Trade smart as well, risk management, or else you lose the account quick. Of course, yeah, of course. Sometimes when you're trading with your personal account, you know, you set the rules, and sometimes the rules you set is just when the account is blown. You know, that's when I've hit my limit, when I can't trade anymore. So again, that's where the discipline is so huge. Of course, with prop firms, you know, the rules are not set by you. So if you do break the rules, then of course you'll lose the account as well. So you have to be stricter with yourself, or it's not going to end too well. With the personal account, you have to be enforcing those rules yourself. Otherwise, things can go badly there too. So yeah, definitely have to watch out for that. In terms of NAS 100, so things are still looking pretty bearish for NAS, still naturally expecting a lot more downside. I really like yesterday's candle close. I'll just move this out of the way. So I really like yesterday's candle close. As you can see, humongous wick to the upside, and then we pulled all the way back down, closed bearish. So a lovely shooting star pattern there, which normally indicates for more downside. So I've mapped out a key support level in the weekly chart here at 18,400, 18,500. That's where I do see price pushing towards. And I think it's only a matter of time before we do get to that level. We could go a lot further than this level as well. This is kind of just the first big level, which I think we might start to bounce at. But I don't know, the market could crash straight through that, to be honest. So I do expect a bit more downside naturally for Aussie CAD. For NAS 100, really nice daily candle close there as well. 4 hour chart, it looks like we're still kind of holding on to support a little bit here on the left. So need to watch out for that. I think if you're looking to short this one, you want to be looking for some pullbacks, and there's some nice areas on the lower time frames, which you could see price potentially pull back in towards before continuing our bearish journey. We had some lovely pullbacks yesterday. I say lovely, they're not really lovely, they're very violent. But nice pullback, and the market continued. So kind of looking for the same pattern to repeat. And you've got some nice areas here to look at. If I drop to the hourly chart, these are some areas of support. Price could come back, retest, and continue. Don't really like the fact of selling right now, because we do have some support to our left, which might make things a bit awkward. So if we can push higher, which again is a big if as well, we may just come crashing down. There's a lot of momentum in the market right now. Maybe we just do keep pushing, but if you're waiting for a decent trade opportunity, I would wait to see if we can get back to one of these two areas and then look for some shorts. And then you've probably got a nice swing on your hands there if we get some good entries. So yeah, now's the way I see it, more downside. In terms of the S&P, this as well, pretty bearish too. Again, I love the daily candle close as well. Big wick to the upside, came crashing back down. Nice bearish shooting star pattern. With the S&P, if I scale to the higher time frames, I'm still kind of looking for us to come back and test this area. So as we can see, prior resistance support there as well. Around 5,300, I think is a nice area price can get to. You can see last week's candle, nice wick to the upside, solid close as well. So there's always a good chance that this week's candle could be bearish. Not necessarily close bearish, but at least give us a push to the downside, which so far it is doing. And then, of course, yesterday's candle again there as well. Of course, you had a bit of a gap there. Looks like the market, has it filled it? Or has it just come shy? Yeah, it looks like it's just come shy of the gap there, but that could fill eventually. And again, the market's not perfect as well. Sometimes it won't fill it completely until potentially a huge new bullish wave comes through. But same thing with S&P. Lovely bearish move. It's left behind some lovely areas to tap into. If we can pull back there, I think those would be a nice place to be looking for some lower highs, or even just a reaction. Don't have to be looking for the home run for every trade. Some trades is just get in, trade it back to the next level, then take your profits. This could be another one of those positions back into an area where we're likely to react. Of course, we're waiting for confirmations. And that to me looks like a really nice short. And yeah, we'll see how far S&P does fall. But the way I see it right now, we've had a solid rejection of support there. We also had a solid rejection of the 200 moving average as well, which has always been a key technical indication of the direction of S&P, or the trend for S&P. If we're above it, bullish; below it, bearish. And we had a very strong rejection of that, and the market hasn't looked back since. So yeah, the way I see it, more downside is likely for the S&P as well. And let's have a quick look at the Dow Jones as well. So Dow Jones, a little bit more messy with this one. Hasn't been as clean as the S&P or NAS. But the way I see it, again, it looks like the market's forming a lower high. Looks like we're slowly trying to push to the downside. We've got support here on our left. And looks like we're on a one-way ticket to that level there too. This one's been a little bit more creative, consolidated there. Anyone with stop losses just above the highs probably would have been kicking themselves a little bit with the spikes there to the upside, and then you get the follow through. But it has left behind some nice areas for price to potentially tap back into. And again, we still do have a bit of a gap there as well. So two birds, one stone potentially. If you can come back, test support, fill the gap as well, that would be a nice place for a short as well. At the moment, we're looking particularly bearish, so we may just continue falling. If that's the case, that's the case. But if price can find support, push back up, I feel like that's a nice place for a short as well. So yeah, indices to me, looking very bearish, and I would expect more downside here. All right, take care, Matt. Have a good one. We'll catch you in the next one. Okay, I'll have a look at gold, Julius. Alfonso, can you explain elevating traders and differences between evaluation and funded and instant? So yeah, elevating traders is just another prop firm. We do specialize a lot in education as well with our academy, but we offer challenges for people to take challenges, just like most prop firms do. The same model. Particularly, we do focus on consistency as well with your trading as well, so not looking for anything crazy. And we do have an instant funding account, which is where you bypass the challenge to trade directly on the funded stage, or you can go through an evaluation, which is where you would take the challenge, and of course, if you pass the challenge, then you're rewarded with a funded account as well. If you head over to the FAQ page, it does explain it, a lot of it in detail, for a lot more information. But yeah, offers challenges, different sizes, different account sizes, different types of challenges as well. So depending on what you're looking for, you should find a challenge you're looking for. And of course, if you do want to bypass the challenge, the instant funding is there as well. Oil's taking a hit, might be seeing the weekly lows taken out very soon. The weekly lows. Oh, okay. Do you mean this week's lows? I thought you meant like weekly swing lows. So what am I doing? There we go. So yeah, with oil, wow, we are looking very bearish. Last time I looked at this one was on stream yesterday. We were trading over there. We are falling, sorry. So yeah, looking really bearish. Where's the week's lows? Well, the week's already created new lows there. Pushing down. We got support down here. I mean, that is still a very strong level of support. So it's going to take a lot of energy for us to break through that. So I won't get too excited just yet, because we did have a pretty strong bearish candle a few weeks back, and that kind of turned around as well. But we have come back into resistance here, and that has provided a decent rejection there for price. We were discussing some shorts here yesterday. Price had one more push to the upside. Lovely rejection there. Was this from the news? Yes, it was. And we haven't looked back since there as well. So oil looking pretty bearish too. I think some sells as we approach this area could look good as well, to be honest. Breaking through structure like that really sets the tone for the market. So again, pullbacks into this area, and then I'll be expecting another drop to the downside there as well, and another lower high, possibly a retest or resistance here on the left as well. So yeah, the way I see it, oil is likely to push back into probably 67, 66 area. Things look really bearish. Of course, this is a big support level, so I would wait to see how we get there, how we manage it, because we might get there again just to reverse. So I'd watch out for that. But yeah, oil looking really bearish. Strong rejection of that weekly level. Oil on the higher time frames is just kind of squeezing between this trend line and that support level. So price is just kind of getting ready to pick its direction. Is it going to break support and break to the downside? Is it going to break the trend line, break to the upside? Again, waiting for price to make that move before I would confirm such a bias. But all I can say is that resistance is holding, and we're probably coming back to revisit support. As long as we kind of stay within these confinements, we're kind of just going to keep going back and forth until we get the breakout. So if you're looking for some longs, I would wait for price to at least push back into 66. There could be some nice lower time frame sells there, but I wouldn't look for anything crazy. But yeah, oil looking very bearish. Oh no, missed the TP by a hair. Now it's coming from my stop loss. That support looks like liquidity to me. Yeah, I would expect it to eventually break the support. You're definitely right. There will be a lot of liquidity below that. 100%. Likewise with the trend line as well. What am I doing? I was already on oil. So yeah, price, there would be a lot of liquidity underneath here, which eventually price will probably look to go and take out. But it's always difficult to predict when, because we might see price push in, bounce again, then go and do it, or it might do it now, or it might bounce support, maybe break the trend line, then do it as well. So it probably will eventually stab through this level. Price has been holding this level since March 2023, and if you want to extend it all the way here, you probably could as well, and that's November 2021. So it's definitely a big support level. A lot of people paying attention to it, hence why it's still holding. And we probably will eventually stab through, but yeah, it's always difficult to bet when that will happen. True, that's true. TAF definitely could be a motivator as well. I mean, there's a lot of extra volume and volatileness in the market. So we might see that momentum remain for a bit, and that could be the motivation to actually go and break through some big levels, like a level like this as well. So you're definitely right. Potentially, we might have the fundamental catalyst now to actually break support. We have to wait and see. But yeah, safe to say, momentum is looking very bearish now, and we're probably heading towards that support level as we speak. So we'll see what price does there. But again, for me, when we are coming back to big levels, even with big fundamental news, which could be the catalyst to break through, I'm always going to wait for price to break through first before I do bet on a breakout, especially a big one like this. In terms of the DAX, then I'll take a look at some of all the DAX is not looking too good. Finally cleared the channel, and looks like we're bearish now. So again, we got that corrective behavior, and now price looks like it's rolling over. I did say a retest of this would look like a nice place for a short. Unfortunately, not quite enough juice to get back there, but looks like we're in retracement mode now. So how far could the DAX retrace? Well, this is the weekly chart. And to be honest, I wouldn't even be surprised by a retracement to this area here, 20,500. The market's been so bullish. I think a retracement even to that area is still relatively healthy. Market's had a really big bullish move. Looks like it's clearing support here on the left. So, you know, something like this to me looks pretty good, even if the market is just going to soar to the upside from then on afterwards. But yeah, the DAX is looking pretty bearish. There's probably another big level here to look at, which probably just coming back into right now. There's some support there as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do make our way back down there. I think if you're looking to trade the DAX, just looking for pullbacks for a short. Nice one this morning, the retest of that low. I think even a retest of this area would be nice as well. If the market does push higher, that also would be a nice place for a short. Got one high, second one there, perhaps a third one as well, and that could be a nice little swing there too. So yeah, DAX looking pretty bearish, naturally expecting more downside there. I think across the board for the indices, it's not looking too good. If I have a look at the FTSE, haven't looked at this one for a while. Okay, so this one did roll over. Okay, so we did get the retest sort of. I was talking about the breakout here, retest and a short, which we did kind of see, but yeah, that was a bit of a fake out there. Then the market did eventually come back and retest again. I think that was from the news yesterday, so yeah, difficult to catch that. But the level did hold, and we did get the short back into the low. So now that price is back at that level, let me just clear the chart. Now that we are back at this level of support, might see naturally some buyers step back into the market, to be honest. There are some other levels below us as well, which we could push into. But yeah, I do think this could be a nice place for a bit of a bounce, therefore. Actually, I take that back. We've already had a bit of a stab to the upside, and price has already found resistance there as well. Maybe if we see some more rejection, potentially could turn into a nice buy, but we might break through that, come a little bit lower to test this area. And I think the current climate as well is difficult. The indices right now look very, very bearish. What's up, Will? Watching from South Africa. Nice. Great content. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. If you are enjoying the stream, guys, please be sure to drop a like. Does really help out. I do really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel, of course. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. It does really help out the channel. And yeah, I do really appreciate it. So drop a like if you can. But yeah, FTSE not looking too hot either. I did say there might be a nice bounce here. We kind of have seen the bounce already, and it's already come back into resistance and rejected it pretty well too. So I think it's just a little bit difficult to be trying to buy the indices right now. Might push into this support level before we do see a bit of a relief. But yeah, in terms of my personal trading, my watch list is probably just going to be based around pound, yen, and euro yen. These two I like the most because the swing is The swing looks of good potential. Right now, we are respecting support, so I need to be patient because this is definitely bullish territory, and I don't want to be selling directly into that. And Euro Yen as well. I like this one to the downside, but again, still respecting support. Ooh, when did that happen? Last time I looked, the price was just trading around here. Is that the... Yeah, okay, that was a few moments ago. A really big push to the upside there. That was at 11.15 roughly. What happened there? Looks like the market is just very volatile at the moment. Anyway, I am looking for a sell for this one, but again, support is holding very, very well, so I have to be careful. Can't be shorting directly into that support level if we're still rejecting, especially with this prior wick and that bullish close there. Yeah, that is a sign that momentum is failing at support, even though I'm expecting to eventually break to the downside. Still firing a lot of wicks here on the weekly charts. I do think we'll eventually topple over, but the market ain't ready just yet. In terms of the USD pairs, I really like them to the upside. It's just that they're looking so bullish. Wow. Did we just have some big moves? Wait, what? Yeah, did Euro just do something? Because I don't remember Euro USD being there. I don't remember price doing that. Yeah, because at the start of the stream I was talking about pushing to that level. I think Euro was only around here. So yeah, Euro's just done something. Let me have a look at some other Euro pairs. Euro CAD. Yep, Euro's done something. Euro CAD, big spike there. Euro Swiss. Yeah, it looks like the market is just very volatile right now. Euro's just spiked somewhere. I haven't even checked the news for today, to be honest. I've just been mesmerized by the news yesterday. I haven't really been thinking about news today. Do we have scheduled news today for Euro? At least not at that time. I mean, okay, maybe at 11. There was a speech at 11. And there's monetary policy meetings accounts at 12:30, but that's in half an hour. Yeah, I'm not too sure what that was. We got PMI for CAD and USD at, well, CAD 230, USD 245, jobless claims for USD at 130. And of course, CAD tomorrow, unemployment rates, and then NFP 130 tomorrow as well, USD. And a speech from Powell in the evening, late afternoon. So, yeah, what the hell was that? I'm looking for sales on Euro USD at 1.10750. Yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Euro, so I'm only really focused with the longs right now. But I don't know. I feel like shorts will actually be a decent idea because the market is a little bit stretched and probably needs to have a bit of retracement. You're looking at shorts at 1.10750. That's here somewhere. Actually, no, around here somewhere. Yeah, so you're looking to try and fade that move, catch a bit of the retracement. We should take with that one. Are you looking for a big swing, expecting a bit of top to form? I'm still pretty bullish, and I think there's a good chance we do push back into that resistance there. So if the market does pull to the downside, I'll be looking for some buying opportunities. Yeah, all happened at the same time. Gold was in the zone. Okay, I forgot to look at gold, didn't I? Almost had a heart attack. Hope everything's well, Dark Sean. Ooh, gold. Gold. Yeah, gold's looking bearish as well. Damn. That one dropped hard as well. So if we can retest that, that would be a nice sell, but nope, gold's too bearish for that as well, and looks like it's trying to break through support there too. What's silver looking like? Because that was already pretty bearish, and now is it looking more bearish? No, not really, still just at support. But yeah, we'll see what silver does there. But yeah, gold, strong push down, and back at support now, or should I say breaking support. Candle's about to close in 2 minutes, unless it pulls back quickly. Looks like it might break out. Okay, yeah, I know the spikes. Yeah, spikes were to do with something. Were something to do. There we go. With Trump's speech, but was this spike as well? This movement still? I mean, I would guess so, but kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. It went in my direction, but was scary. Well, it's in your direction, so hopefully you're not too scary then. I will be live again later today, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be live. Wow, gold is just dropping, man. Wow. I will be live again later today with Trader Nick on his channel. So if you do want to see more of my analysis and see what things are happening and my thoughts and his thoughts and also Marco's thoughts as well, do tune into that stream. It's around 1:45 UK time. If you're wow, gold is. I'm trying to deliver some information here, but gold is just drawing my attention away. I will be live again later today with Trader Nick on his channel, 1:45 UK time. So about an hour and 45 minutes from now. So if you're free, tune into that stream. But yeah, gold just dropped some more there. Markets are just very volatile right now. Very volatile. Euro USD, pound USD. I'm trying to see which markets are spiking. Pound USD is pulling back. Aussie dollar, not much there. Let me look at the yen pairs. Pound yen, what we saying? Nothing much. Euro yen, what we doing? Okay, that's pulling back there. Yeah, the markets are just a bit awkward, to be honest. Just a lot of spikes. Just being careful. Swiss yen. Okay, we'll have a look at Swiss yen. So I'm still trying to short CHF JPY as well. Again, there's a couple ideas I'm looking at because I'm looking at a lower high forming and a swing back into the low here. So it's either the highs already formed and price is getting ready to short. So in that case, you kind of want price to hold resistance here. So if we can see some good rejection, momentum shift, this might be a nice place for a short for Swiss yen, stops above the high. If we're not quite ready, we might still push up one more time to the upside and then have our sell and then get up marked out nice level of resistance here on the left. We've got a trend line running through the market there too. So around 172, you might then put a top in, then roll over. But either which way, I'm looking at a pretty bearish swing. If you go on the weekly chart, you can see we've been firing a lot of wicks here to the upside. So market is starting to tire. I do think we're about to roll soon. But yeah, judging how we react with the resistance here, if we start breaking through that, we probably will see a bit of a bullish move first before we do turn around. So be cautious of that. But yeah, pretty bearish on Swiss yen, and I'm looking at a swing back into the low eventually. And that, guys, does bring us to the end of the analysis or the stream. If you guys have enjoyed the stream, G jumping 1 minute, yeah, I just had a look at pound USD there, and it was looking a bit down as well. Yeah, it is falling. Yeah, the market's just a bit weird right now. Yeah, dollar looks like it's pulling back a little bit, so I feel like that's a bit of a factor as well. I mean, I'm still pretty bearish on the dollar, so if pound does drop, then that means an opportunity for me, hopefully. It's got to drop a lot further, though. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. Like I said, I will be live again later today on Trading channel, so if you're free, pop into that stream. That's around 1:45 p.m., which is about 1 hour, 45 minutes from now. If you have enjoyed the stream, please be sure to drop a like. It does really help out. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. I do really appreciate you guys tuning to the stream. It does really help out. I do appreciate you guys spending time with me. If you do want to check out the Discord channel, a link to that is in the description below. Free to join the community. You can share your ideas there, see what other people are trading. So if you are interested in that, link to that is in the description, also at the top of the chat as well, pinned there too. But guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. I will be live again tomorrow, same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. So if you're free, pop in there as well. I will be live again later today as well, so we'll see what happens with the news later. But yeah, guys, appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.